Hi Taurus, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your weekly tarot check for the week of May 10th through the 17th. So we're going to go Sunday to Sunday, May 10th to the 17th, 2020. And I want to start off by thanking all of you who have subscribed and been watching, liked, and commented. I really appreciate that. And if you're new around here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Tap the bell if you want to be notified when new videos are posted, which is about every week. So last week I did a love check. This week I'm doing a weekly, and next week I'll have a mid-month check coming out for you. So this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for Taurus. Please do, if the reading doesn't resonate and it's perhaps your sun sign, check on your Venus, Moon, or Rising and see what that has to say. Sometimes that can be a little bit more accurate depending on what your focus is on. So this is for Taurus. Time is fluid, so we are looking at the week of May 10th through the 17th, but if I get a time prediction, I will give that to you. So we go Sunday to Sunday here, you guys. We start off with Sunday, we've got the Five of Wands. Monday, we've got the Ace of Wands. Tuesday, we've got the Eight of Cups, and then Wednesday, we've got the Hermit. Thursday, you've got the Four of Swords. Friday, you've got the Page of Swords. Saturday, you've got the Hierophant, and then you end on Sunday with the Sun card. So I definitely feel like you have some conflict coming in. There's conflict, there's an apology, and there's some distance, okay? I see that very clearly here. It's very clearly laid out. You've also got two fives, which is change. So you end on a really nice note with the Hierophant and the Sun here, but you definitely start off with some kind of conflict, and it's like somebody wants to get into drama with you. This is somebody who's very dramatic. They're playing a lot of games. They're screwing around, and you are not in the mood for it, quite frankly. I think that you are just not going to want to participate in it, and it may end very abruptly. I don't know that it's going to get escalated because I just don't think you are going to engage in it. You know, when we have the power to look at something and say, that's a spectacle, I'm just going to watch and walk away, watch and look away, then we don't give away our power. We don't walk into something that doesn't raise our own vibration, because conflict always lowers your vibration. And I know that sometimes it's necessary, let's say, to engage in a lawsuit or a dispute of some kind because you've had money taken, or it's very clear that somebody was in a contract with you and they didn't uphold the contract. I get that. Occasionally we do that. But it almost always lowers our vibration, so it gives us kind of a mix. But I definitely think there's somebody here that wants to start some stuff, and it almost feels more like a friend than, you know, a friend or like a family member. It doesn't feel like it's a relationship, like a, you know, dating relationship. I'm just not getting that very strongly. It feels more family related. But they come in on Monday and they want to apologize. They've got this olive branch extended. But I think you're going to be busy with other things, quite frankly. I don't think you're going to have time for this. I think you have some new stuff coming in. I actually do think some of you might have new love coming in. And so you've got this other irritant, you know, dramatic person. And it's like, you know what? I've just survived a pandemic. Some of us, probably most of us here, have lived through 9/11 and can remember it. And we've lived through other pandemics. I mean, we've gone through some stuff, and it's like, I'm not going to waste my precious time here on this. I have a new focus, and I'm going to see what that's going to bring. But you're very much in your own creative power here. You know, you've got, this is all about action and kind of like waving your wand and making things happen. So I definitely think you get a new person coming towards you, but, you know, this is for Tuesday, you've got this Eight of Cups. You're walking away from any kind of drama. You're walking away and insulating yourself from anything that is negative. This is like walking up to higher ground. And I definitely think in this relationship sector, whoever's coming towards you is different than a lot of the relationships that you've had. Some of you have had some very codependent things where they were financially very needy, not very organized, just not a good fit, not a good match. And I definitely feel like you're walking away from all that, and pursuing other passions. I just keep getting that passion, especially with that Ace of Wands. You're pursuing some other things. I also think, too, there's some things that are going to come to light here this week where whoever this is that causes the kerfuffle on Sunday is going to be exposed. And I would just let whirling dervishes whirl. Let them whirl right into their own trap. So you're going to walk away from that. And the Hermit is a great card to have here because the Hermit is a guide. And this is for Wednesday. This is Virgo energy. Let's talk about that a minute too. You've got Leo, Virgo. You have fire here. You have air. You do have a little bit of water. But with this Virgo, card, this is all about going within, and it could be meditative practice, quieting your mind, but you're being guided here. The Hermit is the guide. The Hermit carries the lantern that guides you through the night and lets you know you're on the right path. So as you walk away from this stuff, you're walking towards something else. You're not leaving a situation as much as you are walking towards. So I keep getting this thing about you're walking towards a new passion. And you've got it for 3 days in a row. The energy is strong here that you are walking. I feel like you're getting into some kind of commitment here that's going to be really beautiful. It really is. There's a commitment coming. And I think it's a soulmate. I think it's got a real potential, whoever this is, and if it's, possibly somebody that you've known before. But your direction is going to become very clear, once you kind of get through this week and things evolve. I think you're going to be in a really nice space. But this is it's a time of reflection and kind of analysis, and then you have more of it. So this is on Thursday, you have the Four of Swords. And again, this is also about going within. It can certainly be going to a therapist even. So some of you, if you do see a therapist, maybe you have an appointment this week, and it will be a session that leads you to more clarity. But you're not looking to fight, okay? You've hung the swords up, you've laid the swords down, and I do think that you're going to come out of the conflict. As long as you're aware that it's coming towards you, you'll do just fine in navigating it. But with this Four of Swords, it is a time of healing, of personal growth, and just a time to make peace. Like I said, you're not going to participate with some crazy person, and quite frankly, you don't have to attend every fight you're invited to anyway. What somebody else thinks of me is none of my business. So it'll be a time of calming energy in here, which is really nice. On Friday, you've got this Page of Swords, and again, I do think this is about this communication. You may have this person from Sunday become a bit persistent, and I think if that happens, you will be able to just close the door on it and to, whether it be through a text. I'm getting it more like a text, like you're just not interested in even talking to them, where they're told to just go keep moving, keep it moving. And again, I mentioned before, I do think for some of you, something's going to come to light about this person, where it's like their motives are going to be revealed, whatever their motive was for trying to start conflict. But again, this is all about communication here. So I definitely think there's going to be some finality to this where you turn your back, but there's kind of a final piece of communication that comes forward. This Page of Swords does sometimes bring in an offer, but it does tend to be a bit more immature because he swings his sword pretty wildly. But then you have on Saturday, this is where I really like how the energy shifts. You have the Hierophant here, and this is the counterpart to the High Priestess. The Hierophant is holding up his hand and saying, be still and know. And so I think for you develop a clarity and a knowing this week that will really serve you. And you're going to see people very clearly for their motives, for what why they're in your life. And along your path, everyone is either a teacher or a student. And I think for you, this person may represent a bit of a teacher, because I think that there was some trust there that was misplaced, and and you learn from that. But this is also too about authority. It can also be about higher education. So for some of you, you may be looking into next fall in terms of maybe your kid is going off to college or you're enrolled in some classes and getting some more information about what that might look like over the weekend. That would be, the energy is definitely right for it. And I feel like for somebody here that is for them. But I think in terms of, a relationship, you have somebody here that's marriage material that's coming in. Could be a Leo for sure. And when we talk about the fire signs, Aries is the fire starter. They're like a big ball of hay that's burning. Leo is warm and they're more of a sustainable energy. So with a Leo, they can really go the distance and, maintain an unconditional love. They're kind of like the hearth that heats the home. So we're really into Sunday now. So if you're in a relationship and it's a Leo, I definitely think that it's promising. You got some very promising aspects here. But interestingly enough, the sun is unconditional love, right? Nothing is conditional when it's in the sun, right? It lights up everything around it. It doesn't pick and choose and decide, well, that plant is shade, so I better not shine on it. It just shines on everything. So you're definitely going to be victorious towards the end of the week. Like I said, I think somebody that starts some crap gets outed, and it's very clear that they're starting things and you have nothing to worry about there. But I also think that you have this new relationship coming in, and there's an openness here, a very open-hearted way about it. There's warmth and there's growth. It's definitely a yes card. So for those of you that are wondering, it's definitely coming towards you. So let's get a Whispers of Love oracle card on this, just for some extra guidance. And it says, be authentic, be real and true to who you are and how you feel. So this is telling you, to be open to this relationship. And if it hasn't shown up yet, it's coming sooner than later. Be open to it. And I know when we're in a pandemic, it's like, oh my God, do I really want to start doing that? But I think there's real love coming towards somebody. And we'll close things out here with Abraham Hicks. The story I tell is the basis of my life. There is no right or wrong way to tell your improved story. It can be about your past, present, or future experiences. The only criterion that is important is that you be conscious of your intent to tell a better feeling, improved version of your story. Telling many good feeling short stories throughout the day will change your point of attraction. Just remember that the story you tell is the basis of your life. So tell it the way you want it to be. And isn't that the truth? Because, things that have happened, that's old news. That's like Abraham always says, the gum that's had the flavor chewed out of it. It's yesterday's business. And so today you want to tell that new, amazing story, and that's what you'll get. So I love you so much, Taurus, and I'll be back next week with a mid-month tarot check.